Thank you for joining us on the program. It is the biggest pulpit in the world, and global leaders are yet again about to mount it. The general debate of the 73rd session of the UN General Assembly kicks off today in New York. Now, we know that in the general debate, global leaders take the opportunity to press their agendas in their given slots to speak about whatever's on their mind, and they try to set the global agenda for the coming year. So what's on the general agenda for this year, and how does it concern Africa?
Alors justement, c'est la question que l'on se pose.
What exactly is to be expected about this annual meeting of world leaders? We will explore the subject in detail with our correspondent in New York, who covers the events for Africanews. Irene Haman-Hungbo, hello. What exactly will these leaders be talking about at the 23rd UN General Debate?
Lors de ce débat, le 73e débat général de l'ONU.
The agenda covers all international issues, including sustainable development, climate change, peace, security, human rights, public health issues, and gender equality. However, the general debate will focus on global leadership and shared responsibility. Dozens of heads of states and government have responded to the call here in New York, where meetings have been held one way or the other since Monday.
Irene, the UN session includes a long list of plenary sessions, meetings, and side events. Could you give us some insight into some that are outlined for this year?
Already yesterday, leaders set the tone with a high-level preliminary meeting at the United Nations unanimously paid tribute to Nelson Mandela, former leader of South Africa and hero of the struggle against apartheid. Delegations also had a meeting on the financing of the Sustainable Development Programme to 2030, Action for Peacekeeping. This is a theme of one of the major meetings of this day, apart from the highly anticipated speeches of the general debate, notably that of Presidents Donald Trump of the United States, George Weah of Liberia, Emmanuel Macron of France, and Hassan Rouhani of Iran. For them, it will be a matter of renewing once again the international commitment to initiate strong actions for the maintenance of peace in the world. It is on the occasion that countries such as Mali, Southern Sudan, Nigeria, DRC, Somalia, to name but a few, will be able to make their voices heard better with regard to the difficulties related to the insecurity in their respective countries, while leaders must also consider how to eradicate tuberculosis from the world. It will be tomorrow. Throughout this general debate, there will be a series of events on humanitarian theme, including responses from Southern Sudan, Yemen, and Nigeria. What interests our viewers are the issues directly related to Africa. Are African issues on the agenda? African concerns are obviously part of it, but not in bold as in previous years. It is true that the delegations will discuss certain topics during the bilateral meetings, but the situations in Central Africa, Mali, and the Sahel are the main African topics of this year. Delegations shall consider, among other things, how to end girls' marriages in Africa. A meeting on the DRC will be held also this weekend, but the theme is not yet very precise.
And that meeting is in the radar as everyone watches the events in the DRC just before the scheduled December elections. But Irene, let's talk about the agenda for the world's millennials and the Generation Z, as we know them, basically the world's young people. The Secretary General of the UN, Antonio Guterres, announced the launch of a strategy entitled Youth 2030. What is this really about?
It is a strategy that, according to the UN boss, aims to give tools to around 1.8 billion young people to meet the challenges of globalization. This will involve finding new ways to increase young people's participation and involvement, expanding their access to education and health services, focusing on their training and employment, defending their rights in political and civic engagement, and then giving priority to young people in conflict and humanitarian situations. This youth strategy will require bold new approaches and new partnerships, including member states, businesses, and civil society. That is why Antonio Guterres chose this period of the general debate to give the top.